Ibrahim Hooper is the National Communications Director for CAIR, the Council on American-Islamic Relations. CAIR called for swift action against Juan Williams, and they got it. So, Mr. Hooper, are you happy now?
Well, we were raising the issue of airline profiling. We get a number of reports each year from American Muslims and Muslims who travel on airplanes that they feel they're singled out based on exactly what Mr. Williams was talking about.
Right, but my
attire.
question is, are you happy now?
Well, it was up. We didn't ask NPR to take specific action. We just asked the network to address the concerns about the.
You asked for action, and you called the comments irresponsible and inflammatory, and wanted them to address it. And you said they should not pass without action. So, are you happy now?
Yeah. Well, we're pleased that the network addressed Muslim concerns. It was really up to them what to do in response to this. And I think everyone is recognizing now that perhaps it wasn't a good fit between the network and Mr. Williams.
Why is that? Why is that? Because you're not allowed to express your honest opinions?
No, because he had views on a number of issues that didn't reflect the viewpoint of the station. I mean, it's quite obvious.
What?
You know, if you're going to interrupt me every time I make a sentence, you know, it's not going to work.
I just want to clarify, which is you're saying the views of the station. What are those views?
Well, he was increasingly leaning towards the right, and the NPR obviously has a more liberal viewpoint, and there wasn't a good fit there, so perhaps this was the breaking point. So
you're not really, I mean, your perception is you're really not welcome on NPR if you have any views that are less than liberal.
I'm not here representing NPR. They can represent themselves quite well. But, you know, it was good that they addressed Muslim concerns on the issue of airline profiling. Again, we get a number of these reports every year, and it's something that's a big issue in the Muslim community. And when someone in a mainstream media setting seems to legitimize airline profiling, religious and racial profiling, that's of concern to us.
I understand that that's how you view Juan's comments. Let me ask you this, sir. Do you think Juan Williams is a bigot?
No, I don't think he's a bigot, but everybody's accountable for their words and their actions. And when he seemed to legitimize singling out people who are perceived to be Muslim based on their attire on airlines, I think that crosses the line, and it seems to legitimize profiling of American Muslims.
Did he do that, sir, or did he just say something that is a belief he honestly held, and that many? Let me finish my question. Let me finish my question, and I'll give you the chance to respond. Listen. I'm here to tell you a lot of Americans. I'm here to tell you that a lot of Americans share Juan's view, and it doesn't make them bigots. It makes them honest, because it was Muslim. Let me finish. It was Muslim extremists that attacked us on 9/11 on airplanes.
What would you say about the two Muslim women in Washington State, or are at a news conference with our Seattle office today because they were physically attacked and attempted to be run over at a gas station in that state because of their, quote, Muslim garb?
But what you don't seem to understand, Mr. Hoover, what you don't seem to understand, I don't know whether did you watch the whole segment with Juan and O'Reilly?
I read the transcript of the whole segment.
So then so you saw that actually Juan spent the entire segment saying, look, I confess, I'm not a bigot, but I have this concern, and then spent every moment thereafter defending Muslims and challenging Bill to make sure that he specified Muslim extremists.
He was there to agree with Bill O'Reilly's statement that Muslims killed us. Read it.
No, sir. I watched it live, and I have the transcript in front of me.
You were correct in that.
He also said this, sir.
Previous statement.
No, watch. Roll the tape.
And it makes it easier for them to come up with this kind of crazy stuff that, well, you can't really say the Muslims attacked us on 9/11.
No, but what Barbara Walters said to you...
Norwegians? I mean, come on.
No, but wait a second. No, wait, hold on. Because if you said, Timothy McVeigh, the Atlanta bomber, these people who are protesting against homosexuality at military funerals, very obnoxious, you don't say first and foremost, we got a problem with Christians.
Because
that'd be crazy.
But it's not at that level. It doesn't rise near to that level.
And when you said in the Talking Points memo a moment ago that there are good Muslims, I think that's a point.
And then he went on to stress that you need to specify it's extremists.
Okay. Can I finish a sentence or
Go
two
ahead,
here?
sir.
All right. First of all, we never called him a bigot. We never called for his firing. But when he goes on a segment that is devoted to Bill O'Reilly saying the Muslim threat to the world is not isolated, it's huge, it involves nations and millions of people, and the next thing out of Mr. Williams' mouth is, I think you're right, and then goes on to state that he thinks anytime he sees a Muslim on an airplane, he's worried and nervous. That raises issues with us, and as a civil rights and advocacy group, we have the right to speak out.
Does he have the right to speak out, sir? Does he have the right? Let me finish my question.
Right to speak
does
out,
he have the
and
right?
So do we.
Does he have the right to get a dialogue started? Whether you like it or not, Mr. Hooper, a lot of Americans agree with Juan Williams. And does it do a service to the nation? Does it do a service to the nation to ignore it? Listen, I ask the questions here, not answer them.
Yeah,
does
I know,
it do a
because you don't
service
wanna
to the
answer
nation,
that
Mr.
question.
Hooper?
Now, do you?
Does it do a service to the nation to ignore that many Americans have that view, or is it a better service?
Are you
for
one
them?
of those Americans
Listen to my
that
question,
holds
if you would,
the view
sir.
that
Listen
you
to my
should
question.
be nervous about
Listen, you can
American
obfuscate
Muslims
it all
on a
you
flight?
want. You don't want to answer the question.
I'm not obfuscating anything.
You don't
I'm
want to
asking
answer
you
the
a question that you don't want to answer.
Let me explain to you how it works. I'm the anchor, you're the guest, okay?
Well,
I'm the interviewer,
yeah,
you're the
normally
interviewee.
a guest gets
And my
to
question
answer
for
a
you,
few questions.
you're
I
going to get
haven't
the
been
chance
able
to
to
answer
do
if
that.
you let me get the question out, sir. The question is it more of a service to this nation if you allow honest, non-bigoted men like Juan Williams to express their concerns and then have an open dialogue about how we can get past that? Or is it better to stifle that free speech and opinion by firing him?
We can have an open dialogue, and that's exactly what a dialogue is. It's give and take. He says something, we react to it. You seem to think that only he should be able to say something and we shouldn't react to it. Is that your definition of a dialogue? And by the way, I'd like you to answer the question of whether you are nervous when a Muslim gets on a plane with you.
You don't want dialogue, sir. You called for punitive action against him.
We didn't call for any specific action.
But you wanted something done. Your memo makes that perfectly clear. This should not pass without action.
Maybe they could have sat down and had a meeting with him to discuss the issue.
You could have
that
made
been
any sort of statement condemning the remarks, offering a different point of view, asking Juan Williams to come and discuss it, host a forum. How can we get past this? Instead, you wanted him gone, sir, and he is.
Well, you're making that up, but other than that, we never said that.
Do you think that this helps you? Does this help CAIR? Do you think that the American people are going to think better of CAIR now?
I've gotten a lot of hate calls this morning on asking that specific question. CAIR is a Muslim civil rights and advocacy group. It's our job to defend the civil rights of American Muslims. I'm sorry if you don't like that.
I'm just asking, do you think, CAIR has been trying to improve its reputation, and it's been trying to establish that it's a moderate organization. And do you think that this is going to help win favor in that regard?
I think any time you challenge racial and religious profiling and defend civil liberties, I think a civil rights group is doing its job. I'm sorry you don't think that's the role of a civil rights group.
I'm not taking an opinion, sir. I'm asking you what you think.
Yeah, obviously you have no opinions on the subject at all.
Does CAIR contribute to NPR?
No, we don't contribute to anybody, but if people would like to contribute to CAIR, they can go to CAIR.com.
And is that how they email you too? Because I'll bet there are a lot of people out there who would love to share their
They can email me at
opinions
ihooper@CAIR.com. And, I've already been getting hate emails saying they agree with Mr. Williams. So that may tell you something as well.
It tells me that we have a First Amendment in this country, and God bless it.
And we
Mr. Hooper,
defend the First Amendment every day.
Take care.
Generations from now, we will be able to look back and tell our children that this was the moment when we began to provide care for the sick and good jobs to the jobless. This was the moment when the rise in the ocean began to slow and our planet began to heal. This was the moment when we ended the war and secured our nation and restored our image as the last best hope on earth.